Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So I hope you're well, and this meditation that we're doing today is the heart chakra meditation. So when your heart chakra is in balanced line, it's flowing beautifully, it supports love and inner peace in our life. For me as well, it's all about the giving and accepting of love. We're very happy to give love quite freely. We give it out, we help other people, and we'll be kind to other people. We're not always very kind to ourselves, so sometimes we're not very good at getting that back, which often can leave us feeling quite run down, depleted. So for me, if you're not very in balance in flow, usually some of those problems do stem from our sometimes inability or struggles with the giving and receiving of love, or just the acts of giving and receiving in general. Also, it's where our heart is often where we store our heartaches, any toxicity, particularly if you've been abused in the past, in whatever form that may take, or you've got any deep-seated trauma. Usually for people pleasers, that is where that tends to sit. We want to be approved of, we want people to love and accept us for who we are, but we struggle to love and accept ourselves for who we are. Usually people who've got things like PTSD and things of that nature, and usually that's where all that's stored as well. So we'll be using mantras and the affirmations that we've got. I will also be recommending things you can do for colour therapy and crystals, essential oils, smells, and I'll be talking a little bit about Archangel Raphael as well, because the ray that we'll be working on is the angelic ray that he has command over. So if you are on a yoga mat, whether you're lying down or sat, or you are on a meditation cushion, you may wish to have blankets just in case you get a bit cold. Oh, excuse me. And if you are sat in a chair, like myself, you may also please be aware that you need your feet flat on the floor, and get yourselves as comfortable as possible, because the less comfortable you are, the more you'll focus on your lack of comfort than you will on what you're setting about doing for this meditation. So if you would like to take 3 large breaths in through your nose, slowly draw that breath in. You'll notice your stomach is expanding. It might be quite hard as well. It might be quite solid and tough. And when you've drawn in as much air as you possibly can, hold there for a few moments, and then when you're ready, just let that breath go slowly and gently, and you'll notice your stomach starts to contract and becomes much softer as well. So if you'd like to do that for a second time again for me, that would be lovely. And if you'd like to do it for one last time for me. And when you're ready, just allow your breath to return to normal. If during this meditation you find your mind wandering, come back to your breath. you can count 1 and 2 for your inhale exhale, so 1, 2, 1, 2, or you can count 1 to 10, either for the inhale or the exhale, or count both of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you find easier, whatever you find easy to draw the focus on. So I'm going to make a start. So our first affirmation is, my heart is open. So I would like you to put both your hands on your chest, and then I would like you to imagine there is a glowing green ball emitting beautiful green, healing, loving energy from your chest. And the ball might be really small to start with, but it's going to get bigger and bigger. This green ball of energy is emanating pure love, and this love is going to banish fear, because love will always trump fear, hate, judgment, and all those negative emotions. Because love is truly all there is. So now I'm going to start reciting affirmation for the next 30 seconds. My heart is open. 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 So whenever you're feeling quite fearful, I would really recommend you use that affirmation, my heart is open. It just helps all that love light that we hold inside us to expand and radiate. And if you focus on that for a couple of moments, it'll help change your vibration, also change your perspective maybe on a certain situation, or give you a bit more clarity. So the next affirmation we are working with is, compassion flows through me. So for this, I would really recommend having a crystal such as either green aventurine or emerald or malachite, for you to, not necessarily for during this meditation, but to help you forge those compassionate relationships with others. So if you're looking to manifest more of those deep, loving, compassionate relationships in your life, or just to draw new people in, or if you're just looking at deepening that connection with the people who are already in your life, I would really recommend either one of those 3 crystals. You would need to program them to do that, but that's simple enough. So while I am reciting that affirmation, I would like you to just think about those people that you have relationships with, and think about how you can forge a closer relationship with those people. Compassion flows through me. 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 So, the next affirmation we're going to be moving on to is I love myself deeply and completely. This is a really big one. A lot of people who I work with, this is a really particularly sticky area for those people. They need a lot of love, a lot of compassion. So, and that they need it for themselves more specifically. So it's quite a big area of focus for them. So if you're wanting to connect with that love for yourself, scent is a really powerful way to do it. So if you have a blended rose oil, and it must be blended, you can dab it on the pulse points on your wrists, and you can just hold them together. And if you don't, you could, if you've got any like hand lotion or body lotion that has a rose essence in it, you could do the same thing there. If you only have it as a pure essential oil, then you could use it you can use it in your oil burners and things like that, but please don't pop it straight onto your skin. I'm not a licensed aromatherapist, and I would only ever advise you getting advice regarding your essential oils from an aromatherapist. So I'm going to use a mantra, which is YAM. This is also something you can do if you're needing to encourage yourself to accept yourself more. That is another big area. Sometimes there's part of ourselves that we can't fully love and accept, but if we give it enough love, we'll eventually accept that that's part of who we are. And that's always one of the biggest steps for us as people. Yam, 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 yam. I love myself deeply and completely. I love myself deeply and completely. I love myself deeply and completely. So, the next affirmation that we are moving on to is I release past hurt. As I previously said, this is obviously where we store a lot of our past hurts, heartaches, and it's where we can either, where we might harden our heart so we keep people at arm's length, or we have it completely open, allowing all the wrong people into our lives just simply because we want to be loved and we want to be cherished. So while I'm reciting this affirmation for you, just taking some deep breaths and just think about those things that you're holding on to that you would like to release. So as those things come to your mind, just take a big inhale in, focus on it, and then when you're ready to let it go, just start to exhale and imagine all that hurt being released. Ultimately, forgiveness is key here. I release past hurt. 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 So our last affirmation is love without judgment. Now, sometimes there are people who put conditions on love. Love should have no conditions. Yes, we should have boundaries in our relationships. That's very important for our own self-preservation, but there shouldn't be conditions on love. There should only be what is and isn't acceptable. So what I would like you to do is put your left hand over your heart chakra and just visualise any feelings of toxicity or judgment about yourself, other people, and just imagine that just completely melting away as I'm reciting the affirmation for you. Love without judgment. 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 Okay? So now I would like you to start coming back round. So we're going to take 3 large breaths in through our nose. Just as before, slow breaths. And when you're ready to take your next breath, and then if you'd like to take your final breath, and just let it go. When you're ready, give your fingers and your toes a wiggle and a wriggle. Give yourself a big stretch. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes for me. So I hope that was helpful. So a couple of things that I'm going to go over. So if you're needing to do any heart chakra healing, balancing, the 3 crystals I really would recommend are emerald, green aventurine, or malachite. They are beautiful heart healers. You can also use moldavite. I wear a piece every day. A beautiful present from my mother-in-law for my birthday. Also, if you're looking to use essential oils, I would definitely be looking at something like rose. Also, you can use outdoor smells, so things like fresh cut grass, sage as well. That's a really good one, but that's an all-round cleanser, so that's a good scent for you to use. Also, if you're looking for using food, that'll be things like green apples, green peppers, salads, you know, so things like lettuce, spinach, obviously lots of different herbs you can use as well within your food. So you do have quite an array available to you, really, with the green. So, and so whenever I'm doing a heart healing, or any healing actually for me, I call on Archangel Raphael. He's the archangel of the day I was born anyway. He's the archangel of Sundays. And whenever I'm doing angelic healing, he's the archangel I particularly work with. So, as he's a healer archangel. So he has command over the green ray, which is the healing ray, because it's done with love. So if you're ever looking to do any heart healing or balancing, or if you need particular support in that area, you can call on Archangel Raphael for that assistance. You can also use, if you are looking for using clothing for colours, you can use greens and pinks for your clothing, for your bedding, soft furnishings, jewellery, even makeup to an extent. So, you know, there's a lot available to you for heart healing. So, you know, take full advantage. Also, I forgot to mention, you can also use crystals such as rhodochrosite and rose quartz for heart healing as well. They're quite nice for heart healing, so you can also use those as well. So thank you for your time. I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.